Hello YouTube viewers and random Iron Man fans, I come before you today to review this, which is the Iron Man 3 Marvel Select Mark 42 suit figure, and here it is in its packaging, which includes the customized sidebar with the new Marvel Select logo at the top, Iron Man and Mark XLII armour, or Mark 42 for those of you who don't speak Roman numeral, written vertically beneath it. It is a special collector edition action figure, and it is from Marvel's Iron Man 3. At the bottom we get this nice image of Tony Stark's arc reactor in this triangular blue section, while the box contains a massive display window which shows off the figure and its accessories very nicely indeed. On the side we get this close-up illustration of the Mark 42. I love these pictures on the sides of the Marvel Select packages. It's a really creative choice. The back offers us a look at the Mark 42 when it's placed on its display base, alongside a little backstory on the suit itself, which I'm not going to read out, but you can pause the video and take a look at it if you're really that keen. Below we have an image of the other figure in this range, which is the War Machine, or if you will, the unpainted Iron Patriot, but more on that figure next time. We also have a picture of the Mark 42 in action, the Avengers Initiative logo, and a spread of lovely legal garb. So that's it for the packaging. Let's open it up and take a look-see at the Mark 42 itself. Alrighty, so here we go, and usually with all of the Marvel Select figures, the detail is amazing, and this figure is no exception. Look at it. It's gorgeous. It's making me cry. The head sculpt looks great. It really looks like the helmet from the movie with its sections of metallic armour sculpted into it. I particularly love this faceplate with all of its indentations and sections. The eyes look really good. They're actually sunken into the faceplate and have been painted white, which gives it a great effect. Plus, around the sides of the plate you can see this groove which has been cut into the figure, which makes it look as though it could be removed. This is not the case, but again, it's a great effect. My one issue is the paint apps, which for the most part are excellent, but I have noticed that the lower half of the faceplate has not been coloured gold and instead has been left red, which I find to be somewhat distracting. Moving down to the torso, that indented armour plating effect continues, and it really sets the figure off well, especially on the sides there. The arc reactor sits prominently in the middle. It's just a basic white, but it gets the job done. However, the curse of the paint apps strikes again, as this upper part of the armour above the arc reactor is supposed to be gold instead of red, and just like the faceplate, that really annoys me. Beyond that, the paint apps are awesome. I especially like those little hints of grey in between the gold and red. For lack of a better term, I'm going to refer to these as shoulder pads. They're very nice. Below them we again can see some metallic grey pieces. The attention to detail on the arms is exquisite, with those overlapping grey pieces on the back of the elbow to allow Stark to move his forearms when he's in the suit. The gauntlets are great too, with those large gold panels covering the backs of the hands. The fingers are individually moulded with the forefinger and thumb painted gold, while the palm contains detail of a white repulsor. The ab section contains these gold pieces of armour with some red and gold components on either side of the waist and some grey in between them. The back is particularly awesome, as not only do you get these various pieces of armour moulded to the figure, the gaps in between are really big and deep, as though this back panel has flown at Tony, attached to his back, and then expanded, revealing these unpainted grey sections. It really adds character to the figure and to the suit. The lower section again has the same effect. I don't know if you can see it, but it seems as though this panel has attached to Tony's lower back and then expanded up and down to attach to the rest of his suit. As for the legs, really, what more can I say? Again, you get that great armour plating cut into the sculpt, the red, gold and muted grey paint apps. It, as a whole, looks brilliant. In contrast, the soles of the feet are quite bare, just with a bit of legal scrumflage and some peg holes, but no repulsors, which is a real shame. But apart from that, and the slightly off paint apps, this figure looks almost perfect. Turning to articulation, the head can do the full 360 exorcist twist, and can also nod up and down. The shoulder pads can pivot up and down, but still restrict the arms, which can move through the full 360 at the shoulder, but at an angle due to the pads, like I said. The arm can move in and out to around 100 degrees, and spins through a 360 at the top of the bicep and tricep. There's some elbow articulation, but it can only bend into 90 degrees as it's not double jointed. However, there is a full 360 at the bottom of the elbow, allowing the forearm to rotate. The hand can spin through 360 degrees, and can pivot in and out through 180 degrees on the wrist, but it is somewhat restricted by that gold plate on the back of the hand. There is an ab crunch allowing the figure's torso to move back and forth, but it can also spin through a 360 on this joint as well, which is good as it has no waist articulation. The legs can kick forward to 45 degrees and back by roughly the same amount. They can also move in and out to 90 degrees, allowing the figure to do the splits. There's a full 360 at the top of the leg, and a double joint at the knee, but it can still only bend in to 90 degrees. The foot can twist through a 360, and it can also pivot forwards and back slightly, and it can also pivot side to side. So overall, the figure has a lot of articulation, and as a result can be displayed in many different poses. Turning to accessories, the figure comes with a pair of swappable hands. These are moulded into the shape of a fist, which gives you some variety when it's up on display. You can have it in flight mode with both palms open, or have it in fight mode with its fists extended, or then there's my personal favourite pose, the one of each. So he's got the closed fist with one hand, while the repulsor is extended with the other hand. It looks very dynamic. A swappable head is included also, this time with the faceplate missing, exposing Tony Stark's face. The sculpt does look good. It's certainly better than the 2010 Marvel Select Iron Man 2 Mark VI figure, but I feel that a little more work would have really made the figure actually look like Robert Downey Jr. Plus you can see the bottom of the faceplate has actually been coloured gold on this head sculpt, which really annoys me as they missed out on that on the alternate head. The figure comes with a base, and it is huge, although I've no idea what it's supposed to be. A generic metal crate for storing the suit, I guess. It's certainly not from the Hall of Armour anyway. The sides are fairly basic. The back contains this weird section which almost looks like a small ladder. It's very generic, isn't it? The worst part, however, is that while it contains sections for the figure's feet to be placed in, there are no pegs on the base at all. None, despite the fact the figure clearly has peg holes on both feet. So this thing fails as a base for two reasons. One, it has nothing to do with the figure that I can see, and two, offers it no support. When I have this figure on display, I want its base to, keep it from falling. Instead, it offers no security at all, as the figure cannot be attached to the base in any way, which renders it completely useless. Doing a size comparison, the 42 fits in well with the other 7-inch Marvel Select figures, but it is a little bit smaller than the Mark II War Machine, and is much smaller, rightly so, than the massive Avengers Hulk figure. So, all in all, what do I think of this figure? Well, faults aside, it's fantastic. The detail, the detail is simply sublime. Even the sculpt, the layers of armour, the gaps, the sections, it's perfect. For the most part, the paint apps are excellent, save for my issues with the faceplate and the upper chest. The articulation is exceptional and allows you to pose the figure in a variety of positions. This is only aided by the inclusion of the alternate hands and head, which really give you that option to add your own personalised spin to the figure. Speaking of the alternate head, while it is nice to get to see Tony's face behind the mask, I feel as though it could have been done in a better way. For example, perhaps a faceplate could have been included which is magnetised and attaches to the face but can also be removed, and is maybe attracted to one of the open hands, which is also magnetic. Or how about this, just a full sculpt of Robert Downey Jr.'s head with no armour on it. That way you could have him posed like in this publicity photo, where he's holding the helmet. Or if you really wanted to go nuts, perhaps full sections of the figure could be swapped out with regular arms, legs and a torso, so you could give it the appearance that only certain parts of the suit have attached to him like in the movie. As for the base, I find it to be an unfortunate waste of plastic. I think a much better idea would have been to have just included that circular platform the suit is displayed on in Stark's garage during the first act of the film. Heck, I would take anything, as long as it has a peg for the figure to be securely attached to. But what can I say? The few faults I have found I can deal with, as this is a fantastic figure with some excellent detail, articulation and accessories. And for those of you who enjoyed Iron Man 3 and particularly loved the Mark 42 suit, you won't find a better display model of it in this price range than this figure. And so that brings us to the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there are countless more reviews online. Thank you again for watching, and remember to keep following the nerd. Goodbye.